Okay, on this edition of In the Glam Room / my bedroom with Caitlyn Jenner, I have to go in this afternoon and do a live feed to London. They're doing a documentary on a show I did over there, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And so I got to have a little glam today. This is kind of the next step up from me just doing my glam. I brought in the great one, Kip Zachary. Been doing my glam. Give me a hug, Kipper. My glam for 5 years.
Since day one?
Yeah. And you got your work cut out for you because
she gave me an obstacle today.
Yeah. Well, we'll go through that while we're talking. But he's got a big problem because of the work on the skin damage. I've got to keep this little piece of tape over the tip of my nose. So he's got to work. What are we going to do about it?
We're going to pretend like you don't have a nose.
Perfect. All right, let's get going and we can talk.
Here we go. We'll start with your favorite.
Oh, good.
She loves this refreshing spray.
I know. Oh, it's so cool. Smells so good. Now, Kip, what are the challenges you have with doing my poor little face?
Usually, I don't. So today is just with what you had done to your nose. Mm-hmm. We'll just kind of I see a couple little spots that you hit here as well.
Yeah, I had a little laser treatment down there.
But you always have the most beautiful skin, so I wouldn't say what is the normal trouble, you know what I mean?
Actually, for my age, I'm turning 71 in 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that scary?
Technically, aren't you only turning 5?
Technically, Caitlyn is turning 5. Start with good old moisturizer.
Yeah, I like
moisturizer. What do you use?
I love this one from Bobbi Brown. It just has a glow in it. It's called Bobbi Brown Extra Bare Glow. So instead of having extra stuff to make you glowy on top of your makeup, we start with a radiance from under your makeup, which kind of glows through the makeup.
Oh, good.
So I kind of like to put that.
I love a glow.
We all love a glow. Supple, glowy skin.
All right. Tell the people while you're doing this how you got the job working with me. I think it's really interesting because this was before I came out, before Vanity Fair. I don't even know if Diane Sawyer
had just been filmed, not aired yet.
Ah, okay.
And it was.
So you knew nothing.
Well, hello. When I first was notified about the job, I had basically worked with the production company that was going to make your show with another celebrity, and the executive producer must have been storing in the back of her mind somebody that would work well with you. And so I just got a call from my agency being like, we can't really tell you much, but we need you to come to this secret meeting. And I was like, okay. They're like, we're going to close the agency down. It'll be just the owner of the agency and your agent. So it was basically nobody even at the agency knew what was happening.
This was my life back then.
So they said, sign your life away.
Which you did.
Basically. And show up at this address. They didn't even tell me your name. They just said, go to Malibu. I remember the dress that you were wearing. It was a Diane von Furstenberg wrap dress, black and white.
Actually, when I first came out, she was so good to me. She sent me a bunch of stuff. She was fabulous.
Because I got to the door, and I remember you were at the top of the stairs, and that was the first time I saw you, and I was like, yes!
Anyway, we hit it off from day one. And Kip's been my go-to makeup artist ever since, and good friend, which I think all makeup artists they got to be your kind of good friend. Yeah, it's a personal thing.
You have to like someone in order to have them around you that much. So I'm just starting with a little bit of lip conditioner, so by the time we get to your lipstick, your lips are nice and moist.
Now, what have you thought of as the challenges of doing me all these years?
Challenges?
Besides the schedule.
I've been put into different situations.
You've gone to London with me, you've gone everywhere.
I've been put in different situations, like doing commercials, and when we did H&M, that commercial was really fun and cool, but it pushed me outside of my box. We're filming season 1 of I Am Kate. And
you were in the show.
You got debuted in New York. That'll always be my favorite, because we filmed for a really long time privately.
Wasn't that ridiculous?
It was
in New York?
insanity because it was Gay Pride too.
Yeah,
So
it was Gay Pride Week. Yeah.
We're gonna put on some foundation, and this has literally been using it since day one on Kate. So this is Armani Luminous Silk, and we might change shades just depending on what time of the year it is. But this is like our go-to
Is this
foundation.
number 7?
This I'm gonna do a little 8 around the edges and 7 in the center.
Okay.
I like to warm up the perimeter of the face with foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So I always kind of start around the
That
outside.
in New York was just ridiculous.
Remember
I had
when-
not been out. I had not been. This is right after Vanity Fair finally came out.
But we had been filming I Am Kate for months.
We had been filming I Am Kate
secretly.
secretively, big time secrets. And we had a trip to see Candace. She was performing. And it was Gay Pride, and we had all the girls there.
And Candace was hot kicking.
Oh, she was high kicking, babe. We went to her event. Now, her following is mostly gay men. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yeah.
They adore her.
They
love
adore
her.
and love her, and she's been doing it in New York forever. And anyway, I went in, and the reception was just, when I went in the room, I mean...
The gays gagged for you.
Yeah.
They were like,
I was
they gagged.
And I
Because you
didn't know
surprised them.
this.
They didn't know you were coming.
No. And that play,
That play. An American in Paris.
An American in Paris. And we had security, obviously, with us. And they had all the girls go out and get in the car, and they had me wait because they said a lot of people outside. Now, I'm thinking, for me, okay, the paparazzis, they're all over New York. There'll be 20, 30 paparazzis outside taking pictures. Had to be
There were
5,000
Thousands.
people there.
They were like, I've never seen a situation like they were literally down the streets, over bridges.
I didn't even know they
to,
knew I was
look.
coming out. Over bridges. They had them over bridges. People lined up everywhere. And I was going, this is
Insanity.
insanity. Yeah.
So now I'm just working on the lighter shades, which I'm kind of doing around the eye area, forehead, down the existing portion of nose that we're acknowledging. I also like to take foundation all the way up right here because, again, foundation tends to look more natural than concealer.
This afternoon. Kind of fun. They treated me on that show. God, I just hit it off with all of them. And we had as much fun as you can possibly have being stuck in a jungle for 3 weeks. Eating...
Well, this was your second time in being in a jungle.
Yeah, it's the second time I did it, but, eating cow's eyeballs.
What was the worst thing you had to eat?
Vomit juice. I didn't even know what was in it. They wouldn't tell me. They wanted me to throw up so bad. The first time I had to, I kind of gagged, and they got so excited when I had to eat the cow's eyeball. And the back of the eye is very gristly, so it takes forever. It takes forever
I'm
to
so
chew
weird
it,
about
and
texture.
you gotta swallow. Oh, you would have hated this texture. And then I wasn't even expecting it. I thought, oh, big deal, just eat the damn thing, whatever it tastes like. Get a meal for everybody later on. You don't want to let everybody else down.
Right. Taking one for the team.
Yeah, take one for the team. So anyway, that's what I was doing. Oh my God! Slowly coming back to perfection. The end of the nose is kind of strange, but what are you gonna do?
Mineralized skin finish.
Good old Mac. I did mention last time that I did have my collection at Mac.
We have the piece. Did you get to show it?
I did show it when I was doing mine and talked a little bit about it.
We're gonna use
But
a couple pieces.
honestly, since I am not a makeup person and Kip is my makeup artist, you were really great helping really formulate. I mean, it was your formulas.
Well, it was really cool because we developed your look.
Right.
Kind of like your basic, like if we needed a go-to look, we already knew what to do. And it probably helped that I worked for MAC Cosmetics for such a long time. Like when I first started doing makeup, I worked there for like 8 years. We made one of the best bronzers
Ever. I had so many makeup artists come to me and say, oh my God, I love your bronzer.
It was good, and they should bring it back.
They should.
So I'm kind of just dusting the powder on to set a little bit of the foundation. kind of not doing the perimeter because we don't really tend to get oily or shiny around the perimeter, so I kind of focus it a little bit more where the face moves and where we get oily.
Can you believe it is still around, Caitlyn
Do you
Jenner?
remember why we
By
did the
Mac.
gold? You're a gold medalist.
Oh yeah, no, we had the and doing the packaging. We
Yeah.
were talking about all that. We wanted it gold, black and gold.
She already has amazing cheekbones, so I don't really use it to contour. I use it more as like a blush. And then I wrap it around right here. I like to take it and kind of cut a line. And then blend down. And work it in. Kind of like the shape of a 3.
Huh.
This is really good for when you're on camera because it just creates a shadow right underneath your jaw.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going a little heavier because I know you're going to be under lights today. When you're under such bright lights, it can kind of cut out a lot of your color.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a fun little trick. I'll take the same thing. So we'll just kind of run it through the crease where we're going to put your darker shadow colors. And then let's use one of Kylie's shadow palettes.
Oh.
Very nice. So when you put these kind of like bricky, kind of like reddish brown colors, it really makes her eyes stand out. So I'm gonna jump in with, let's do a little of this, a little of that. And we'll start in the outside corner. Go ahead and open your eye for me. I'm just gonna tuck that in right here and make a little V and work it towards the inside.
Now, what is the biggest mistake that women make when it comes to makeup?
I would say probably too much. Yeah, people want to look picture perfect every single day, and I think what happens is your sense of what that fine line of what's pretty and what's normal can get crossed into like what is like in the Instagram atmosphere, where it's like cut creases, glitter, line, where I like makeup to enhance someone's natural beauty.
Gotcha.
I don't want you to I would like someone to come up to you and say you look beautiful, not your makeup looks beautiful. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
I'll do this kind of reddish brown, almost purpley. It just depends.
What makes a great brush?
So there are a lot of great brushes that are not that expensive, and then there's a lot of amazing brushes that are expensive.
Right.
So it just depends on what your price range is. So the like Lamborghini of brushes are Hakuhodo, and then Hakuho. But they're like a handmade brushes that will last you for the rest of your life. But then there's a lot of good brands like I pick up all the time this brand called Morphe. I think I've given you a couple. They're inexpensive, good quality. They're not going to last forever, but for what you're paying, you get really good brushes.
Yeah.
So I'm going back in with a paddle brush, which is just a little bit more of like a flat paddle shape.
Right.
And I'm using the same 2 colors that we started off with in the beginning.
Or above the eye.
I'm actually going to use it as your bottom eyeliner now. The more you can surround your actual eyeball with the color that complements your eye, it'll make your actual eye color just radiate even more. Perfect. You can already see how much more intense your lashes look right there.
Speaking of lashes, what would you say the percentage of women who have really good and usable lower lashes?
It's not that common. I would say it's a lot. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like,
yeah.
I would say probably your family members are some of the ones where
that's
are some of the ones with the best bottom eyelashes.
They got some serious lashes.
What I'm going to do is take that same brush that I had the eyeshadows. I'm just going to buff out the edge that crept on to the lower lash. This doesn't have to be perfect because I'm actually going to take a brush and smudge it out.
Blend it out, right.
You always want things to come out and up, not down.
Gotcha. What got you into makeup?
I was working at Nordstrom's and I was fascinated by the way people looked at the MAC counter. And so I worked in a department that I could watch them basically all day. And I was just started, I literally went to the counter and bought $100 worth of makeup. I don't know what drew me there. The only way I can describe it is once I finally worked there, it was the way little boys looked at it. It wasn't like it was makeup, it looked like art supplies. So it just was an explosion of colors.
That it is.
Right, so let's curl your lashes. This is her least favorite part.
Yeah, you always try to tear them out.
If it feels like they're pulling or tugging, that's good. If it's pinching, that's not good. This is my new favorite. It's not expensive. It's L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black. And I think the best part about a mascara is always the wand. Don't you think that too?
Mm-hmm.
It just depends. It's the distribution process of the mascara. So depending on that is a big deal. This one allows me to get really close, but yet define and I'll get a lot of lash. And I'm not going crazy on the mascara right now because we are going to put a false lash on. I always focus a couple extra coats on the outer corner. Kind of gives a little extra lift. And a little less on the inside. Well, I think these actually replicate natural lashes, but to the next level.
Yeah, I agree. And plus they got the length and they fill in all the blanks. Yeah.
And I always use black adhesive. Do you use clear or black?
Clear.
To kind of get sticky in it.
Right.
Otherwise it just kind of falls off. But during that time I kind of like to take the lash and just roll it back and forth. That way you're kind of breaking up the band. Otherwise it kind of sits the way it sat on the tray. So for this part, I'll just have you chin up and glance down. I'm gonna try not to hit your nose. And Baxter's now snoring. And voila. Another tip is I always like to cut from the outside, not the inside of the lash. And you don't overload it, there's no point, it doesn't do anything extra. Straight ahead. And we're good.
He never gets it on the first one.
When the pressure's on?
Yeah.
You taught me that.
I did.
This is like the brow Bible. So it has all and every of your needs. This is made by Anastasia, which is world known for eyebrows. And I'm gonna do a little mix. Let's do a little this, a little that. So I like to start right on the bottom of the lash, because again, wherever you drop your brush off first is where it's gonna be the darkest. This is the best one on the planet. It is Benefit's 24-hour brow setter. They're always sold out, so if you find it, buy multiple.
That's why it's sold out.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do in this business.
That's true.
I just like to put my finger behind it so that you don't get many mascara onto the eye. And then let's do a little blush and a little lip.
And we got it.
I even like to take just a lip and go right here. Kind of makes all the colors go together too.
Gotcha.
And I always love a little of this at the end.
Ooh, a little glitter.
A little shimma shimma. Let me come around this side. This one's another MAC one and one of my faves. Patrick Star.
Oh, really?
Chin this way just a little bit. It's just super subtle. It doesn't have big chunks of glitter in it, which I don't really like, especially when you're going to be on camera. And you can take it with you. It's a little baby size.
How cute.
And with this, I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just depositing some on the lip. And then I'm actually going to use my finger to kind of go ahead and do a kissy kiss. Give me kissy lips. There you go. And it kind of shears it out and makes it look a little more like a stain. And I'm just taking some of the gloss out of here, and I'll use a brush because I don't want to get the color into the clear. And I love a juicy lip. I think we're both gloss girls, right?
Yeah. All right, ready for the UK. Thank everyone for watching. It was a lot of fun. Kip did a great job. I'm ready to go into town, do a little on camera to the UK. But I just want to say I've only been doing this and been out for right now a couple of days. And I've got so many subscribers. I really appreciate your support. These shows take a lot of work. I'm kind of new at this. In fact, I see all these other YouTubers, you know, when they're out there, they go, okay, right down there, subscribe. Well, honestly, I have no idea if it's down here, if it's a subscribe button over here, up here, or here. I have no idea. So anyway, wherever it is, subscribe. And I appreciate your support.